Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Wade Foster Show. Hopefully, you guys are all enjoying summer and the World Cup as it's on. Obviously, me being English, but to a mainly American audience, it's all about football/soccer. And hopefully you guys are all enjoying the amazing World Cup. Before we dive into it, just want to always say a big thank you to all of the listeners. If you guys are enjoying the episodes, if you can like, subscribe, give it a 5-star review, whatever everyone else says on their podcasts, as it really does help the podcast grow with the more support you guys give it, which means more people can get actually actionable habits without having to listen to lots of adverts and advertising like most other big podcasts out there. So today's episode is around health wearables and tech in the health space currently. Is it good? Is it bad? And how to live a healthy life with health tech. The reason I bring it up is it's such an interesting point I find, because I have a love-hate with it, which I think a lot of people do. So that's what we're going to dive into today. The goal of the episode of today is to walk you through kind of the ins and outs of the good and the bad of health tech, what I do, what I recommend, and how I feel you should be living your best life by utilizing health tech in a certain manner. So why are we doing this? So the health tech market is exploding right now. Like wearable tech in North America is kind of worth, I think it's 34 billion in 2025 and is on track to hit like a 70 billion pound market 2030. It is incredible how advanced and amazing that the tech is going to go. Like you've obviously got your Apple Watch, you've got Garmin's, you've got Whoops, you've got Oura rings, there's then Ultra Human rings, there's then Polar, there's then continuous glucose monitors. I think Google just launched their new Fit product or something like that. Like every company is jumping in this space because this is the space to grow. However, what's really interesting, this is the more interesting. Gadgets aren't solving the problem, and they may, in fact, be part of them. So I think I've said this before on a podcast. Somewhere like 85% of people who wear a health wearable still do not get adequate amount of sleep. So firstly, as you guys are probably all aware, my company partners with Oura. All of our clients get an Oura ring. Absolutely, I would not be without my Oura ring. But I'm going to get into how I utilize it later, because the core problem with the wearables, orthosomnia. Okay, orthosomnia. This is a clinical term for what's happening with a growing number of wearable users, which is basically an obsessive preoccupation with perfecting metrics, which paradoxically causes worse metrics, right? So it's basically stressing so much about the data that the data gets worse. So it's like, fuck, my sleep score was shit last night. Right, I must do all my stuff today. Oh my God, what if my sleep score is bad tomorrow? Oh my God, now then you're out of a sleep routine. Oh my God, my stress is high today, so I need to do this, which is then making my stress. Why is my stress still high today? Etc., etc., etc. That is orthosomnia. When people get so stressed from tracking health metrics that the health metrics decline. A bit like a lot of diagnoses in modern times, people are getting diagnosed with something that's not really a thing. People like to be called something, right? It's like, oh, I've got this. I've got a condition. Have you really? Right? It's all over, like ADHD in kids. The amount of kids with ADHD now has ridiculously risen from 20 years ago, 40 years ago, etc. And it's like, have they got ADHD, or are they just bored in school, or just parenting, or whatever? Those things. But that's often a tangent, right? Same thing with stuff like orthosomnia. Do you really have it? Or are you just, not optimal, not improving your health? So you're blaming something. You're blaming the device. You're passing the blame to something else. So that's something to be aware of, right? So with wearable tech, you've got to be careful of a few things. So the first things is none of these wearables are perfect. There is a tier list, right? However, none of them are perfect. None of them will probably be perfect for a very, very long period of time. They will get things wrong. So they're not gospel. You need to use them as a guide. And this is one of the first things that people who use all these things as gospels. So with sleep tracking, there was a 2025 meta-analysis of a good few 20 to 30 studies that found a lot of sleep devices underestimated total sleep time by up to 20 minutes, right? And some overestimated awake time by 15 minutes. Now, that's not really a lot. 20 minutes, 15, it's not a lot, but it's not 100% right. Sleep staging depending on the device. So the breakdown of light, deep, REM vary. Some of these devices are really, really poor at tracking this. I wouldn't even sometimes look at it. I think there's a Withing strap that was 29% accurate, and I think found that Whoop was 69% accurate compared to the clinical sleep test. So a Whoop is 69% as close, and there was this Withings band that was 29% as close. So that's not fucking accurate, right? So what do we want to do with this? Well, with sleep, there's a few things that I like to pay attention to. So firstly, what time are you going to bed? What time do you wake up? Is that 8 hours apart? If not, probably try and fix that, right? And a lot of these devices are pretty good at understanding when you're falling asleep and when you're waking up. They're pretty good at detecting those. Now, in between may not be as optimal. Oura-ring is probably the most accurate, but like I would still go, when are you going to bed? When you're waking up? Is it 8 hours apart is the main thing. Then of that, you want to look at maybe how often you're waking up, but sleep cycles, good to know, especially if you've got a ring, but I wouldn't overly stress about them if you're on other devices. So what do I look for when it comes to sleep? My bedtime, is it in a consistent hour window for bed and consistent hour window for waking up? Really, really important, right? And those hour windows want to be 8 hours apart. And then next metric I look at, or I think, how do I feel am I waking up feeling refreshed and re-energized? Do I wake up, like the analogy that I give on sleep is, let's say you got an iPhone. You plug your iPhone in and it's at 20% and it works its way to 100% charged. Do I wake up feeling 100% charged, ready to go for my day? If I did, I probably had a good night's sleep, right? Then I give an analogy of, when you have an older iPhone or the cable's broken, you plug it in and it doesn't die, but it like stays at 20%. So it's never really charging. So am I waking up feeling like that? Am I waking up going, God, I'm still tired. Like I'm yawning, God, and I'm kind of fatigued during the day. I'm like, oh, well, I probably didn't sleep that well last night. Then I would look into certain things like how long was I asleep for? How long? But if I'm waking up feeling refreshed, awesome. Let's go. Let's attack the day. If my energy is good throughout the day, then let's go. So that's kind of sleep tracking for you. Next, this is the worst offender, and I hate it when people bring this up. I hate it that people aren't aware of this. Never, ever track calories burned on any device. It is so wrong. Don't even know why it's there. Most devices are close to 80% off when it comes to calorie burn throughout the day. So never ever go, I've burnt 5,000 calories today. That means I can eat up to 5,000 calories in food because I've burnt it. No. Most of them between 60 to 80% wrong. So just don't ever look at that metric. I think on Oura, you can actually turn it off, and I have it off. I don't even have it as a metric. And the reason being is devices estimate calorie burn based on a few different things. So based on heart rate and movement patterns. But two people of same age, height, weight, doing the same workout can still burn dramatically different calories depending on fitness level, muscle mass, metabolic efficiency, to name a few. So the algorithms don't capture all this stuff, right? A more efficient runner burns fewer than an inefficient runner. So it doesn't take any of these things into account. So just don't ever look at that. So when it comes to activity, what do I pay attention to? How many steps do I do? How many hours do I sit still? I'm just fucking it. That's it. That's generally all these things are good for. Now, if you are an elite runner, and by I mean elite, you compete. If you're just recreationally, I wouldn't really care about this. But if you're an elite runner, you can use some devices to track heart rate during training to make sure you're in certain heart rate zones. If you are not competing in races, I wouldn't care. Like if you're not like, I'm really going to try and be a runner or a triathlete or whatever, I wouldn't really care about my exact heart rate for stuff. So for me, when I'm doing zone 2, I generally try and do zone 2 with a friend and we talk the whole time. Because if you're at a talking pace, you're in generally a zone 2 heart rate. If I can't talk, I'm out of breath, I've gone too quickly. If I haven't got a friend, I nasal breathe. That's it. I'm not tracking my heart rate or anything like that for it. So when it comes to activity, the only things you want to pay attention to, how many steps have I done? And is that hitting where I need to hit, right? Again, for health purposes, 8,500 is the minimum. Right? Anything above 8,500 comes down to caloric burn. I'm hitting about 15,000 a day at the moment, and I'm doing really, really good, losing weight, feeling great. So I do try and push people to more. I like 12,000. Don't tell me why. I think if you're 12,000, you're above average. You're like, you can be like, I'm a fit and active person. I move a lot during the day. So I like 12,000, but anything below 8,500, your health isn't as good as it could be. Anything above 8,500 is generally looking at just extra calories burnt, which is awesome. So that's what I look at when it comes to activity. I wouldn't overly worry about it. These things are awesome. And I want to know my step count for the day. I want to know I also want to know how many hours I've been sitting still, right? The studies are around 9 hours a day. So if you have a sedentary lifestyle, so if you're sitting still for 9 hours or more a day, you are 5 times more likely in the next 10 years to have a heart attack or other cardiovascular related diseases, become pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic. Some forms of cancer become more prevalent in the body. And you also get high levels of visceral fat in the body, which is the really bad fat that kind of comes around your organs. It's really hard to shift. So I want to pay attention to now. Because I have an office job, I'm on Zoom most of the day. Now I have a standing desk, which helps me mitigate sitting down time, right? So they're the two things I want to pay attention to when it comes to activity. And that's it. That's all I'm paying attention. I'm not worried about all these other metrics. If you then have stress metrics. Now, stress is interesting with these things, because they're all coming out with newer and newer things of tracking. I like heart rate variability as a measure. I think it's really, really important for us all to track. It is a legitimate biomarker for autonomic nervous system health, which basically means stress load on the body. However, these things aren't perfect. So it's currently summer. I'm currently in the UK. I'm off to New York tomorrow, and it is a heat wave. These things will detect, like skin temperature will affect the stress of my body. Right now, and look, I'm hot, so my body is probably under a bit of stress, but I'm not stressed. Like, I'm absolutely fine. But probably, if I was to look at my Oura ring, it would be stressed today because of how hot it's been. Right? This is just one example. There's a few other examples, but these things don't take into account other areas of your life as well. So people kind of take it as gospel. But if you have an alcoholic beverage, your scores are going to be shit. Now, that is good to know, but does it mean you're stressed? No. Means your body's under a bit of stress because you've obviously put a poison or a toxin in it. If you have caffeine, and I freaking love coffee, right? Caffeine is a stressor on the body. If you workout's a stress on the body. So you got to take these things with a pinch of salt. That's why I like looking at heart rate variability and heart rate variability over time to my baseline. That's kind of what I'm paying attention to when it comes to stress metrics. So my baseline, just call it 100. It actually used to be, I think it's dropped a little bit now as I've got older, but it's 100. And then I know, cool, if I'm around the 100, I'm good. If I'm above 100, if I'm higher than 100, wow, awesome. I'm really recovered. I'm really efficient. If I'm dropping into the 90s, okay, not much to worry about. If I'm dropping into the 80s, okay, now my body's under stress. Now, don't take my 100 is mine. If yours is 20, if yours is 30, whatever your average is kind of bouncing around that. That's kind of what we look at from a stress metric. Don't worry about everything else. Don't worry about it. Same with the recovery scores. I don't really understand them on some things. And this is the issue with the things. It's algorithm. It's a game. It's like social media. The smartest people in the world are currently trying to get you to spend more time on your phone, more time on these wearables, more time on this stuff. So they gamify it when it's not really what we want. Like, it's not really what we need to be looking at. So this is why, again, I love how our company works, because we don't want our clients to look at their stuff. We're like, don't worry about it. It's what you hire us for. Right now, it's a few metrics, like it's nice to know where your steps are and stuff like that, but don't worry about it. If you're stressed, we'll tell you. If you're sleeping like shit, we'll tell you. Don't overly worry about it, because a lot of people who are type A personality do get a bit overwhelmed by it. So don't overly worry about it. Worry about things I've just mentioned in this one. Next is, don't get caught up by shiny object syndrome. Don't fall for adverts. Fuck me. The health and wellness space right now is a nightmare, absolute nightmare. And I always find this so interesting for me to talk. And I think, like I mentioned, but like, I love the health industry. I'm really, really passionate about it. I've helped over 5,000 people in my career. I've been doing this for 12 years. I've helped so many people. So I love the health industry in a sense of helping people. But a lot of it isn't about helping people. It's gimmicky. It's claiming this. It's doing this. You get these neurostimulators, red light panels that aren't really red light, blue light blockers that don't block blue light, CGMs, which can be beneficial, cannot be beneficial, biohacking, like, no. Like, no, if you're not doing the fundamental, like, no, don't, you'll be happier without them. You'll be happier going to bed and waking up 8 hours apart in a consistent time, eating whole foods, 3 strength sessions a week, 3 cardio sessions a week, having a diet of meat, fish, beans, eggs, bit of dairy, fruit, vegetables, potatoes, rice. You'll have a great life, right? You'll have a great life. Socializing with friends once or twice a week, date night once or twice a week, limiting alcohol to maybe under 4 drinks a week, but still enjoying some alcohol. Like, you'll have a great life. So we don't need to worry about this overwhelmed feeling when it comes to wearables. So that's what I want to dive into today when it comes to wearable tech and this whole lifestyle of being obsessed with it, this orthosomnia. Don't get obsessed by it. I will tell you what I do. I will check my Oura once a day, and I generally check it around the lunch period. I do not let Oura dictate my mood first thing, because I know how I feel. I wake up, am I feeling good? Excellent, crack on. Am I not feeling good? Oh, okay. Maybe take today a bit easy. Let's get the ball rolling, get outside, get some steps in, because my routine's so good. Like, if I don't sleep well, I'm getting sunlight in my eyes and I'm going on a dog walk first thing in the morning, I feel great after that, right? So I don't let Aura, I don't want to go like waking up feeling great and then you check the Aura app and it's like, oh, 78 sleep score. Fuck me. I must have not slept well that night. And I say 78 because I normally get like in the 90s, right? So don't let it. And also silly things, right? And this is one thing, a pet peeve about Aura, but it's a pet peeve about all these devices. So I'm in bed reading because it's a really good nighttime activity to do, to read. And then I go to bed, fall asleep, have a great night's sleep. Like wake up feeling refreshed. I then go on this walk. I'm feeling great, etc. Get back my morning, right? Doing my health check-in at lunch. It's like sleep score 68. And I'm like, what? I slept great. And then it says I took an hour to fall asleep. I'm like, no, I didn't. I fell asleep within about 7 minutes, but I was reading for an hour because the book was really good, right? So, but in Aura, you can actually change, like it does have a setting to change your sleep latency and stuff like that. So it's a bit more accurate. But if I'm in bed, this is what I mean. So I'm in bed. I am relaxed. I am calm. I am still. My body temperature is dropping. My breathing rate is slowing because I'm winding. I'm relaxing for the day. I'm also not moving very much. So I'm just turning a page and my ring's not moving much. So my ring is going, oh, you're clearly trying to sleep because all the signs are showing you're trying to sleep. No, I'm reading. Right. But or I can't tell I'm reading. But all like you may have had this if you've got a ring or wearable. It's like you had a nap. No, I was watching a movie. Like I've been to the cinema and it's like, what's this? And we detected a nap. I'm like, no, I was just watching a film in the cinema. So this is wearable. So I check mine at lunchtime because I don't let it affect my mood, right? I'm no chance of letting it affect my mood in the day or it dictating how I feel. Right? That's it. I check it then. That's it. I then do kind of a weekly and a monthly review of my data. Cool. How have I trended over the last week? How have I trended over the last month? What's gone in there? I used to be strong in the recovery metrics. I'm now down to a adequate. Why is that? Then I'll dive into my data and I'll go, oh, look, do you know what? This was a stressful month. Or, you know what? I did drink more this month than I normally do. Or whatever the reason may be. I did travel more. That makes sense. Let me fix that for the month ahead to get that back up to where it needs to be, right? Then the only thing on my phone, which I might be able to show on camera if you are watching on YouTube, plug to watch the YouTube channel, is I actually have my steps as a widget on my, if you're on it, you'll be able to see my dogs. That's just gone off. So my steps as a widget on my home screen. So I don't even need to open the app. I need to open, or I'm like, oh, I'm at 16,000 steps today. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Awesome. Like I've hit my step goal. Whereas if this was like you're at 4,000 steps and it's 9 o'clock at night, I'd be like, well, I'm going on a walk, right? So I've not got to open up the app. I've not got to look at any other metric because I've got steps as a widget on my home screen, right? And that's how I use it. It's just a guide. It helps me understand certain things, or really helps me understand trends. I'm not overly fussed on the day to day. I'm overly fussed on the trends from a week to week basis. Now, if anyone's gone Aura, I get triple crowns. I'm a health coach. I have good sleep, good readiness. So I will review like, okay, how many triple crowns am I getting? What's dropped? Is there a reason why my sleep's slightly dropped? Is there a reason why my readiness may have gone down, or my activity, was I injured or something that month? So I pay attention to it like that rather than a day by day. This is going to dictate how I feel today, like how I slept. Don't worry about it like that. Use it as a guide. If you want a coach, get a coach. Doesn't have to, great if it's us. We're fucking good at what we do. But if it's not us, don't worry about it. Go get a coach to help understand what to pay attention to. The issue with the health industry right now is that they're all adding. Like, no. We want fewer things because what you're adding is pointless. It's not accurate or it's overwhelming. As I said, really what you want to pay attention to, what time you go to bed, what time you wake up. Are they 8 hours apart? Are you staying consistent with that? Okay. 2, how many steps you did, how many hours you sat still. 3, HRV trend or resting heart rate trend. That's it. Don't overcomplicate health. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Pay attention to the small things. Check your device once a day, probably around lunch, just to get a review. Check at the end of every week, do a Sunday reset and do an end of month reset. Check your trends over time, optimize what's dropping. Don't buy any random crap that you see on Amazon or Instagram ads because it's probably not that good. All right. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like and subscribe. Do not get overwhelmed by tech. I recommend getting a good tech device. Again, I recommend Aura, but it doesn't matter. Get whichever one that you really like. Wear it, check it rarely is probably the right word. Like once a day at lunch, then weekly, monthly review. Check the metrics that I've told you about. Stick to healthy standards. You'll look better, you'll feel better, you'll live longer. Catch you in the next one. Peace.